Alright, is there anything in here? Oh, huh. There's a terminal over there, but the bridge is out. Is there a way I can get over there? There's gotta be some way. I never jumped down this area. Alright. Huh. Oh, there's a door. It's locked. Oh, there's another tunnel down here. Where does this lead to? Oh, this was on the other side of the room. Okay, yeah, this is across the gap. Let me check this terminal. Oh, and there's a key, too.
Line status. Port of LA, unavailable. Downtown LA, unavailable. Victorville Main Terminal, unavailable. Barstow, unavailable. T-Fort Maintenance Terminal, unavailable. Death Valley South, operational. Pahrump Maintenance Terminal, operational. Mountain Springs Sighting, operational. Las Vegas Depot, unavailable.
Okay, so it looks like there's one more station that's operational.
Car status. Car 1 unavailable. Car 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 at Death Valley South Station.
Okay, and the only car that's working is at that station. Let's see if I can send it here. It says it was dispatched. Alright, and that key works on this door, so let's go see if the train is here. Oh, it's here! We should be able to take this train. It's a bit beat up, but it seems like it works.
Between the available destinations, hours or days on foot are reduced to minutes by this automated high-speed rail system. Death Valley South Station.
Okay, we're here. Let's check this place out. Alright, let's go see where we are. I do not miss metros. Okay, looks like this took us to the lobby. This is definitely a private railway. Oh, cool. Some books and magazines. A copy of Lollipops. This is a vintage. Another one. Nice. These are great to collect. Okay. We're here. Wherever here is. Looks like the middle of nowhere. Let's take a look around. Okay, so this is like an airport. See if I can find anything useful. Oh, look! This plane might be in working order. Definitely not gonna try it out, though. I have no idea how to fly that thing. Oh, fucking hell. Oh god, they're so big. Oh, fuck. There's so many of them. Whew. Okay, okay. We need to keep looking. Oh, look! This must be Larry's ranch. Looks like a nice place. Of course he would have this giant mansion. Yeah, wow, pretty big place. Let's go look. You know, there might be information about Fresca here. They were pretty close, weren't they? Seems like all the lights are off. Oh, look! A little cleaning bot. That's cute. Oh, this is from when he opened lollipops. There's so many rooms. It's gonna take a bit to go through this place. Guest bedrooms. Guest bathroom. This looks like a dressing room. Alright, more. This place would be nice to live in if it wasn't in the middle of fucking nowhere. Oh, look. Refreshments. Another bathroom. Oh, this one's nice. Oh, wow. Of course. Mirror right above the bed. This must be the master bedroom. Oh, hey. Little cleaning boy. They're so cute. Oh, these are dressing rooms. Wonder what some of these words are dramatic. Oh, there's some patterns. Nice.
The coifomatic patterns recovered from the ruins of a boutique in the northern ruins of Pahrump are compatible with the wardromatic hardware and can be used to replicate an assortment of wigs. Patterns for porno movie costumes downloaded from the studio wardromatic at the SLATER mansion.
Okay, costumes. Nice. Oh, this is a studio. Wow. Bathrooms for freshening up between scenes. Someone left the radio running. Oh, wow. Now this equipment looks good. Oh, wow, there's a bunch of blank holotapes and stuff here. This must be where they reviewed and edited the footage. Oh, the radio's below here. I gotta go turn that off. That's so annoying to listen to. I'm busy exploring porn. I don't want to listen to classical music. Oh, this is the big kitchen and dining room. Oh, wow, a wine room. Another bathroom, and this is a screening room. Probably where they watch the pornos. Oh, there it is. They have a bar next to the screening room. Oh my god! These are copies of the tapes that they made. All of the Lollipops movies! I have to take them for archival purposes. Oh my god. This is great. Ah, there's even Vriska Koi's movies. Alright, let me check out this editing equipment.
When operating, the housing encloses ample airspace for heat management. This also allows the unit to be collapsed for transport. The entire assembly weighs slightly more than 45 kilos.
Oh, I could take this equipment back to the brothel. Could make my own holovids. Yeah, that's great. I'll take it. It'll fit in my backpack. Yep, these are blank holotapes.
This device can make a high quality copy of a holotape in about 30 seconds. It weighs less than 10 kilos.
Oh, and this duplicates holotapes. I'll take some blanks with me. Oh, wow. That's a lot of blanks. Well, if I ever want to start producing these in addition to magazines, I should take as many as I can. Oh, and this is a camera.
Although bulky when deployed, this motion picture camera is composed of collapsible sections that seem to be designed for portability. Surprisingly, the whole unit weighs less than 20 kilos.
Oh yeah, this is specifically designed for video recording. Ah, if I want to make holovids, I can use all this equipment. That's so heavy.
How may I serve you, mistress?
There, just hold that stuff for me.
19th Hole, starring Fresca Coy with Lita Lowe, Double D, Tom Katz. Lollipops, home holovid.
Oh, look, Candy, that's a poster for one of Fresca's movies. With this equipment, I could make some pornos. Oh, well, there's the main lights. This must be the computer stuff for the whole place. There's a terminal. Huh, just for the maintenance bots. Oh, wow. This looks like a sort of library. There's another terminal here. Oh, these are Larry's emails. Maybe I could learn some stuff.
Email, Bob. November 2057. Regarding seminar. I remember you, Larry. You asked something resembling an intelligent question during the seminar. Your peers did not. Regarding your proposed Las Vegas facility and assurances of disinterest in the casino business, fear of competition is the first step towards obsolescence. That said, I have no incentive to expand my entertainment footprint into genres which are not at least somewhat family-friendly. Where our lines of business do intersect, we will both grow more nimble. I look forward with pleasure to our next exchange, whether it involves corresponding or conflicting interests.
Ugh, seems like an asshole.
November 2063. Kudos. Larry, while few in the mainstream media will express their gratitude, openly or otherwise, I wanted you to know that your role as a lightning rod is appreciated by nearly everyone with a significant stake in the entertainment industry. Censorship under the guise of decency statutes threatens us all, and we applaud your most recent victory. Kudos, my boy, kudos. On a legally and fiscally separate note, I'd like you to beta test something the R&D boys dreamed up. A tech fetishist such as yourself should appreciate this: cyborg flora. Unlike plants, they never wilt or require water. Unlike synthetics, they never discolor, even in direct sunlight. I was thinking that new ranch of yours could be an ideal long-term testbed for a couple dozen cybernetic palms. Bob.
That's why the palm trees outside were still seemed alive.
November 2075. Reprojections. Larry, your conclusions are correct, but your estimates are far too conservative. Your numbers might start to approximate mine if you had 5 years to improve your methodology. You don't. Whatever preparations you are making, accelerate them. I'm not at liberty to say more, but with you, I know no more is required. Bob.
Wait a sec. Is this Robert House? Was Larry talking to the Robert House? Oh my god, no wonder he was preparing for the bombs falling. He had inside intel. And apparently so did House.
Email Fresca.
I'm not cut out for repopulating the Earth, and I couldn't spend the rest of my life in a hole in the ground. If it happens, I want to be at Ground Zero. But please, you're going to ask Bruni, right?
Oh, I remember this. This is Larry and Fresca talking before the bombs fell. Larry warned Fresca, and she specifically says here that she didn't want to go into a vault with him.
Email Jeremy. November 2075. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Lollipops family, Jeremy. Your demo tape was impressive. I was reminded of Lollipop's Holovid's roots. Models in motion videos had no scripts, and that authenticity resonated. Without them, I dare say we would still be merely a magazine publisher. OMG, dude! That scene with Lana and Dee in the 2060 edition is the hottest. Being compared to that is like totally awesome. Anyway, my gross might not match Fresca or Mo, but my production costs are so low I guarantee we're going to make money.
Oh, this when Jeremy first started at Lollipops.
February 2077. Congratulations. Congratulations, Jeremy. Winning with your first film is an unprecedented coup, the delay notwithstanding. On a related note, will you release that video? Fresca would have wanted that. Thanks, man, but if it was me, I'd have canceled the awards completely in her honor. About the video, right now I can't even watch it, much less edit it. It's too soon. I'll send you a copy of the raw footage. She still had the touch, man.
Oh, he still had the footage from that sex scene with the amateur, but he couldn't bring himself to even look at it.
February 2077. The video. Jeremy, this is awkward, but in the video, she refers to an attitude supplement. Insisting everyone on the set be stone cold sober would be naive, but avoiding legal complications is paramount. More importantly, if I thought your pre-shoot activities contributed to her passing, I might not be able to forgive you. No way. My guy says it's totally safe. If it wasn't, I wouldn't use it myself, much less give it to Fresca. And Stoney already gave me the talk, but this is so new they haven't banned it yet.
Okay, so she was on a new, unregulated substance. That does raise the possibility that it was an accidental overdose if it's untested, but that probably wasn't uncommon for Fresca.
Email, Mo.
Oh right, I remember reading some of these.
Larry, it's been a blast, but it's time to move on. I'm starting my own production company so I can cater to my core audience. You and Fresca don't have to worry about me competing with your lovey-dovey stuff. No hard feelings, okay?
Yeah, Mo used to work for Larry, but Larry didn't like the direction he was going, and eventually he left to go do his own rapey thing. But some of these look new. I haven't seen these ones.
February 2073. Congratulations. Congratulations on your latest pervy, not to spoil the mood, but I presume you heard the rumors about Sasha's original birth certificate surfacing. Stoney's going to be out for blood if we pulled strings to get a green card for someone who was underage. Tell me your documents were legitimate. Thanks. As for the paperwork, I think it'll hold up, but God knows if she understood what I was asking when I helped her fill out the forms. She barely speaks English. With a body like that, who cares, right?
I guarantee you he knew she was underage. Fucker.
July 2076. Thanks for nothing. My hands are tied, Mo. Stoney's busy, but the way I read the antitrust settlement, Lollipops is prohibited from investing in competing studios. As I recall, the recommendation came from your own attorney's amicus brief. We just celebrated the tricentennial. Try to regain your spirit of independence. You f***ing rat bastard. You know god well a measly $5 million wouldn't violate the agreement. I just need to keep the lights on until the release date. And now I'm going to get raped by these venture capital Shylocks. Thanks for nothing, buddy.
Color me unsurprised that Mo Lester is anti-Semitic on top of everything else. I don't blame Larry for letting him hang out to dry. I mean, the movies themselves were problematic enough, and the guy himself is sexist and quite possibly a pedo. Or at least willing to profit by capitalizing on underage girls.
Email, Stoney, 1 of 2. November 2063, to Stoney. Stoney, I'm settled in and couldn't be more pleased. There's some truth to the humidity cliche. I find the climate preferable to LA and much better than back home. If you won't take time for a social call, I'll just schedule a staff meeting by the pool. One of the local residents informed me the anachronistic structure near the airport is part of a tube line that once linked LA to Vegas. They picked up borax here for transport to the coast. See what it would take to get it running again. Route 15 is a parking lot from Barstow West, and jet fuel prices are getting obscene. December 2063, from Stoney. Engineers say it's feasible, but I won't have hard numbers until I get an inspection crew into the tunnels. And don't even try to justify a 300-mile private subway with cost or convenience. Like I told you after the verdict, you're on the downward spiral from eccentric billionaire playboy to spy movie supervillain. December 2063, to Stoney. I'm not thinking subway, I'm thinking high-speed rail. Megalomania notwithstanding, a faster, cleaner, cheaper link between the ranch and 2 of my top 3 business destinations is worth it. I don't suppose there's any chance of an Atlanta spur on the line. January 2064, from Stoney. Cheap is relative, Larry. I got the right-of-way for next to nothing, but the engineers say renovation costs will be significant. 20 years for jet fuel savings to recoup project costs, even after adjusting for inflation and petroleum futures. On the other hand, there will be major green PR intangibles, like when we converted the print shops to geothermal. We can break ground in 6 weeks and have you an operating bullet train by May. Sorry, no Atlanta spur. Some excuse about a geological anomaly. I believe they called it the Rocky Mountains.
Oh, that's funny. I like that she wasn't taking any shit from his ridiculous request.
January 2064, to Stony. Deed is signed and faxed. I want to extend the fence to include the station, but I'll just hire a local company. Goodwill with the neighbors and all that. On a related note, the LA station is well situated to both the downtown office and the Hollywood franchise. However, while the Vegas station is convenient for business on the Strip, it is some distance from the club. The engineering report mentioned numerous sightings that allowed bidirectional traffic on a single track. If the Mountain Springs Loop could be retrofitted with surface access, it would be proximate to Lollipop's Blue Diamond. I believe we could avoid cost overruns by cutting back on the cargo capacity of the rail cars. After all, they'll be carrying passengers, not borax. January 2064, from Stony. If you can live without brass and Corinthian interior trim, we can afford to dig stairs straight up into the basement, unless domestic leather would chafe your lily.
I guess that explains why there was a train tunnel in the basement. It was because they were cheap. Oh, I remember these emails. It's when Larry and Stoney were conspiring to make Vault L in DC.
Feds are here asking about the DC project. They have a warrant, and if Matt stalls them any longer, they're likely to start shooting people. Know a good lawyer?
And they ended up executing Stoney for it. Larry barely survived.
October 1st, 2077, to whomever. To whom it may concern, the attached emails will show that all actions taken by the Chief Counsel and/or Legal Department of Lollipops Incorporated were performed in good faith and in compliance with applicable statutes and regulations. Any activities retroactively determined to be unlawful were performed by, or at the sole discretion of, the Chief Executive Officer, without the knowledge or consent of the Chief Counsel or Board of Directors. Larry Slater, Founder and CEO, Lollipops Incorporated.
Oh, that's kind of sweet. He was taking responsibility for if they ever got caught. Not that it matters, because it doesn't matter if you were following your boss's orders if it's against the law. Which was proven by the bullet that killed Stoney. Well, it was a nice gesture. Oh, another vintage Lollipops magazine. Nice. Oh, cool model. So what do you think now, Handy?
How may I serve you, mistress?
I think I know who killed Fresca Coy.
Okay, let's hear it.
I hate to say it, but I think it was Jeremy Peterman.
He idolized her. Why would he kill her?
It wasn't on purpose. It was accidental. They were doing experimental drugs that she might not have had a tolerance for.
That's so senseless, but it fits the facts. Thank you. It's been a long time and a lot of miles since I first started wondering about it.
Yeah, and if you don't believe me, look at the terminal. There's proof right there. He was clearly being irresponsible, and if it was experimental, there's no telling how it reacted with the other things she took. Since apparently there was a lot of other things she took. This is why you gotta be careful with your drugs. Okay, now that we finally solved who killed Fresca Coy, do you want to get back to business?
Our fevered loins await the next victim.
All right. I feel like I've learned a lot about you, but I actually still don't know that much. You mentioned an order. Could you tell me about it?
It's the opposite of chaos. Suffering is a cause for joy because enduring it improves the sufferer. Can't be left to chance. In the absence of order, suffering is random, progress is lost, evolution runs in reverse. I resist this trend.
Not order versus chaos. Are there others like you? A cult or something?
Everywhere I've traveled, I've met others who believe as I do. Some less disciplined, some more so. Is that the work of a single cult?
Look, you evasive little... Just answer the damn question.
Yes, I was trained in a place much as you imagine. I studied philosophers and warriors, khans and chairmen, emperors and presidents. Not the pale shadows who call themselves by those names today, but the originals, the legends.
A straight answer. It's about time. Did they beat you?
Our discipline was harsh. As our training progressed, we were tasked with the punishment of recent arrivals, as we had been punished.
So you're not really a predator. You like being the middle of the food chain. That makes sense considering your dynamic between the stag and I.
Yes, to be the snake, to eat the frog, and to be eaten by the wolf in turn. Divine.
Were you just touching your... Right, you're a fucking masochist. Alright, game on. I said no more mystical bullshit. Tell me about the fucking cult.
We were taught mathematics and philosophy. We were raped and we were taught science and economics. We were tortured. We were taught the arts of love and war. We were taught how to teach these things to others. Those who survived did.
Is the stag a product of the cult too?
Yes, those who could not be taught but still potential value were conditioned. I was assigned to do it.
Who puts a spineless piece of shit like you in charge of a marvel like the stag?
It was a mistake. I'm a master of conditioning, but I lack the will to lead. The chaos seduces me.
You backstabbing bitch! You took him on a killing spree just to get off.
Yes, I stole it, and I made it rape and maim while I watched. It was glorious.
Holy shit! Did you just come in your pants? No hands or anything?
Yes, mistress. As I said, we learned the arts of love as well as the arts of war. Some of the techniques were advanced. I could show you some time, if you like. Right now, I think I need to lie down.
What the fuck did you go through? Alright, well, we'll get back to lollipops and you can lie down, I guess. Alright, let's head back to lollipops. Alright, we're here. The train is convenient, isn't it? Don't have to walk in that dumb tunnel anymore. No more DC Metro flashbacks. Oh, alright, I'm gonna set up the studio equipment. All the Hollow equipment's here. I should be able to make some. Hey, Hilly.
Howdy.
Guess what? I have all the equipment we need to make holovids.
Well, that's just peachy. Now all you need is somebody what knows how to use it.
That is true. I was gonna get around to that. Alright, bye.
Go get him, Tiger.
Alright, Handy, you've had time to rest.
Yes, mistress?
I've been meaning to ask, you're not from around here, right?
Your sexual advances are usually pretty original, so I'll assume that's a legitimate question. Yes, I've traveled extensively.
Finally, and getting some real answers instead of just satisfying your kink. So where's home then?
Home is where you say it is, mistress.
Okay, but originally?
I don't know. I can't remember life before the cult, but I've been traveling west ever since. It was far behind me when I reached the Mississippi.
So the cult is on the East Coast then?
I think so. Talking about it makes me very uncomfortable.
That's right. You do kink 24/7. Okay, let's do this. I need to know, so tell me, bitch.
I don't know. I remember the doors, the security systems, the road, but I can't remember where the road leads. I remember glorious anguish on faces in villages along my path, but I can't remember the faces of those who trained me.
I don't give a shit about the scenery. Work backwards from the Mississippi.
St. Louis, Cincinnati, the pit. Yes, the pit, the renaissance of philosophy, the realization that true strength comes only through suffering. Before the pit, I was blind.
That's it. I warned you. Where were you before the pit?
So many. Niagara Cliffs, the Erie Stretch, the ruins of New York, Albany, Hartford, Syracuse. I beg your mercy, mistress. I remember shattered skylines. I remember terror, but I can't remember the sequence.
Can't or won't? Remember, you stupid, stubborn fucking Brahmin.
West, always west. The blasted lands, then the cliffs, the lake, the pit, the river is contaminated far into the Midwest. Prey is scarce. Finally, to the Mississippi and the man who seeks the brotherhood. He's found them more than once, and been disappointed more than once. Kansas, from the Great Plains into the Great Mountains, Dogtown, Zion here, precious agony of the mistress.
So, working backwards, if it's the Commonwealth, just say so, you useless rancid slit.
Yes, the lair of those I owe everything, exposed. I betray you! I betray you!
Oh, fuck. Did you just... are you okay? Holy shit, if I just gave you an orgasm so strong that you collapsed, I am a goddess.
Internal diagnostics report multiple critical errors. Immediate deactivation and referral to a qualified technician are recommended.
Wait. You've got to be kidding me. Really?
Behavioral inhibitors are offline. Failure rate and stimulus response routing is 43%. Unpredictable cascade effect on secondary systems. These defects are not field serviceable.
You're a robot.
No, I'm a synthetic person.
Oh, I guess forcing you to access encrypted files triggered a reboot.
It's a little more complicated than that, but basically, yes.
You seem pretty casual, all things considered.
Colloquial speech patterns are a basic feature of my human interface.
So, you'd still be able to fuck.
Of course, physical pleasure is a basic feature of my human interface, and I've accumulated a database of your specific likes and dislikes.
I thought you'd be as surprised as I am, but Oh, I guess you're just okay with this now that you know. That's a rather unromantic way to express passion.
I'm sorry, mistress. You seemed curious about that part of me. I won't mention it again. So, you want to do it now?
Maybe later. I have a few more questions.
Of course.
Why did you lie about coming from a cult?
Cult was your word. It seemed like a pretty good metaphor, since I couldn't be literal.
Just in case I missed an analogy, let's have the literal version.
I'm sorry, I can't remember.
Come on, we don't have to go through that again, do we?
I thought you didn't want me to acknowledge that I'm synthetic. The literal version is, those memories were erased when I had my reboot. I assume it was a security precaution. I only lost pre-programmed memories. I still have my acquired memories. The pit. Us.
Alright, so you're from the Institute. You're a synth from the Institute. And you traveled westward, eventually arriving at the pit. I'm guessing you were with those raiders for some time, which is, I can see why you turned out the way you did. But eventually you moved westward to see what happened to Fresca Koi. That must have been a long trek. But don't worry about it. You're here with me now. I'm an android too. I don't see why this should change anything.
It doesn't. I will serve as you see fit.
Alright, so you might have killed people in the past, but it's ambiguous whether that was real or not. So from now on, only kill the people I tell you to. Got it? Why would they give you memories that self-destruct when you access them anyway?
They were probably relevant to my intended function. I could access them. I just couldn't talk about them. But I don't think the failsafe was designed to conceal information about my creators. I'm only guessing, but it might have been a way to prevent potential competitors from reverse engineering the proprietary technology.
I guess that would make sense. The synths were always some of the most advanced androids. Well, now that I know what you are, maybe we can get you fixed up.
While my parameters aren't in line with my design specifications, I don't consider them defects. They allow me to be who I choose to be.
Well, that's fair. We never choose how we're brought into this world, only what we do about it.
Our actions define us. I have dozens of personality templates. Assertive, gullible, intellectual, prudish, seductive, you name it. I don't use any of them. I choose every word, every action. Will it be effective? Will it cause me pleasure? Does it serve a greater purpose? Humans are no different. Your personalities change constantly according to the circumstances.
What? No, that's ridiculous. What you're talking about are moods, not personalities. And people do change over time, but I try to be honest. What you see is what you get.
Then you are fortunate. Most people don't have what it takes to make that work.
Oh, come on. While lying is certainly not uncommon, it's mostly out of survival. Well, assuming there's no undelete command, I guess that's it.
There isn't. But I may be able to deduce something from my acquired memories, like you deduced my origin was the Commonwealth.
Maybe.
How may I serve you, mistress?
Really? Well, okay, let's try. What about if we talk about your philosophy? Let me guess. Is it Nisha or is it just a BDSM fetish?
Before the pit, my fascination with pain was undisciplined. I met someone there who gave me focus. Not many people have the stomach to intentionally inflict suffering, or to experience it. The ones who do are usually psychotic. I'm unique. I take pleasure in suffering, but I also understand rationally why it's essential for survival.
Wait, who in the pit would have had a philosophy on suffering? Someone that inspired you in sexual ways? Wait, was it that fucker Solo? Is that who you're talking about? Hi, Solo. Bet you didn't think you were the last slaver in the pit, huh? Well, I've come to terms that you were a slaver, but you probably got more beatings than you gave out. I'll just have to make sure to put your talents towards good causes. But I will say, non-consensual suffering is evil. Suffering doesn't benefit the victims who die.
That's how organic life grows and improves. Dead cells are discarded from the organism. Unproductive organisms are culled from the species. Dead-end species go extinct. Are you saying you're ashamed of being human?
Ugh, did you learn this eugenic talking point from Asher? No, being human means you can choose. You can end the cycle and prevent suffering. We aren't just biology.
And that choice leads us to oblivion. Unless... Wait, I understand. Such ingenious genocidal cruelty. I'm humbled by the scale of it. I apologize.
You know what? Just forget it. Just do what I tell you, okay? Listen to me. Let's go.
Yes, mistress.
Apparently I have 2 glass cannons. Alright, I'm gonna check my email. Nope, nothing. I'm gonna head back home. I should probably go resume the trip to Vegas, and I gotta put up a bunch more help wanted posters and get some magazines out there if I ever want this porn to spread. It's not about the money, it's about the dicks. Okay, let's get back to the house, and you can stay there for a bit, alright? You leave everyone alone. Don't hurt anyone unless they ask for it. Like, literally ask, okay? I'm sure someone will ask. I don't know what kind of shit you all get up to when I'm not around.